You are listening to the Centropic Oracle, an audiobook podcast of science fiction and fantasy short stories that make you think and feel.
The Birds Will Fly by Benjamin Cooper. My soul is doomed, but the birds will fly. I repeat the phrase like a mantra. The words resonate over the mechanical grinding and churning noises pounding inside my head. One day the birds will fly again. Birds of all sizes and colors, each with their unique songs calling through the smog-filled skies of the city. Of course, there are not many birds around these days. In a bleak world dominated by urban sprawl, technology runs rampant like a plague. People seem to have no time for the natural world, for matters of the heart. It is in this desolate and loveless place that I sit alone inside my metallic kingdom. Stare blankly at the sterile aluminum walls. Beads of sweat slowly trail down my face while I listen to the whirring of the failing air conditioner. Screeching and clanking noises of the factory that I manage have been echoing in my head for days, driving me mad. The wretched place has gobbled up 20 years of my life. Secretly, I loathe that filthy, depressing building. May as well be my tomb. Greed oils the gears of industrialization. The progress my factory represents is a fallacy. For every simulated tree we manufactured and deployed, irreversible damage was unleashed upon the earth. Still, for reasons I do not fully comprehend, my company loyalty is unwavering. Pressing the cold metal barrel of the revolver against my temple, I move to the open window and gaze upon the grey world. The hot air hits me like the exhaust of a jet engine. Colossal skyscrapers tower above the city, crowding the sky where flocks of pigeons once flew. All of them are gone now, however, unable to thrive in this artificial civilization, one that I took part in sculpting and cannot help but feel somewhat responsible for. The antique rotary phone on the table rings incessantly. I lay the revolver on the window ledge and pick up the receiver. It's not a savior, but my ex-wife. Her selfish, negative outlook mirrors the world of which I despise. She tells me the things for which she is sorry, and for those she's not. I tell her beauty resides only in the mind, that I cannot make her see that our souls are polluted, much like our hopes and dreams. Hope feels unnatural. I begin to ramble, telling her the future will be dictated by political ideologies and that my occupation is the epitome of the heartless corporations which now rule the world. Well, such is life, she says at last, exasperated with my stubbornness. And such is death as well, I utter with disdain. You have to take what life gives you, she says. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck in this time, this life. Nothing can change those things. That's partly why I left you. Not because you wallow in self-pity, longing to be colorful in a world that is black and white, but because you're too scared to emerge from this grim, secluded cage in which you've locked yourself. The company is at fault for the environmental impact, not you. They will appeal the verdict on your behalf. There's no need to consider your delusional plan. Is this one of your grandiose ideas? Telling me such things? I retort scornfully. The grand jury has decided. I can no longer deny responsibility. My factory has scorned Mother Earth. The birds are gone, their migration paths obliterated, their lungs poisoned, their forests decimated because of my ignorant leadership. I need to make a stand. A statement that will have a lasting impact. The birds will fly once more, just as they did when I was a child, dancing in the wind and singing from the trees. Can my doomed soul still be saved? No. Not even if I come clean to the public. Still, one way or another, the birds will fly again. They have to. It can happen. I can make them fly again. I drop the receiver and it crashes to the floor. Returning to the window, I retrieve the revolver and gaze out over the dismal city. A stiff breeze suddenly blows through the dusty screen, then chills up my back and scatters the papers from my desk. Foreboding clouds in a thick haze block the sun, the source of all life. On this day, There is no light to power the synthetic leaves, a requirement of the replicated photosynthetic process to discharge oxygen. The air is thick, stagnant. No birds fly in the gloomy sky. Only loud, tumultuous helicopters and thunderous airplanes. The constant grinding and heavy pneumatic hisses of the machinery are louder than ever, rattling me to my core. She is wrong, I think. The law now proves there is no justification, something I had known all along. I alone had the authority to shut down the factory. The mandatory reports contingent to being awarded the governmental contract had been maliciously inundated with erroneous data. Power consumption requirements were altered, bills of materials falsified. The trees, which were meant to save the planet from environmental catastrophe, were in fact exacerbating the crisis. I could have stopped the devastation, but disillusion kept my conscience at bay. It is an evil I must nullify. My hand shaking, I again bring the barrel of the revolver to my head. My forehead is throbbing. A constant industrialized soundtrack is too much to bear. My doomed soul can still do good, can it not? My sacrifice can be the inspiration the world so desperately needs. Upon my passing, my wife has agreed to leak my compiled communications and correspondences implicating me in the conspiracy to the press. My demise would ignite protests and demonstrations, possibly even a revolution. Perhaps my sacrifice will be the catalyst to definite change. Perhaps one day Mother Earth will begin to heal, and the birds will once again take to the skies. I set the revolver on the windowsill to massage my temples in a failing effort to quell the pain. The birds will fly, I whisper convincingly. I bring the revolver to my head once again, trigger finger twitching, my breath labored. As I squeeze the trigger, I am certain I see a bird flitting by outside the window, peacefully soaring upon the breeze.
We hope you enjoyed The Birds Will Fly by Benjamin Cooper, read by Lee Shorten. If you'd like to learn more about the author and narrator of this story, or make a donation to them, follow the story page link in the description. Pledge your support to us on Patreon for cool rewards and to help us bring you more stories. If you would like to submit a story for consideration or apply to be a narrator, a link to our submission guidelines is in the description.